German authorities say 8 people have been arrested on suspicion of belonging to an extreme right-wing terror group in the eastern German state of Saxony and across the border in Poland. Police carried out raids on 20 locations. The German prosecutor's office says the militant group has a racist, anti-Semitic and apocalyptic ideology. They say the suspects had plans that included ethnic cleansing and seizing control of parts of Saxony. The group had allegedly undergone paramilitary training and purchased military equipment. For more on that story, we can now speak to DW's chief political correspondent, Nina Hase. Nina, do we know how far advanced their plans were?
Well, German authorities are saying that this group, the Saxony separatists, as they call themselves, that they were members of that group that were convinced that on a day X, the German state and society will collapse. And that date was not specified, but the group then seems to have prepared for that day X, on which they want to use weapons to conquer areas in Saxony. And this is a region in eastern Germany, and possibly also in other East German states, in order to establish a Nazi-oriented state and society and remove unwanted groups of people from there by ethnic cleansing if necessary. And to that end, the members repeatedly underwent paramilitary training, you said it, with combat equipment, use of firearms, patrols, other marches, and that they had bought the according equipment such as camouflage suits, combat helmets, gas masks and protective vests. So 8 people were arrested overall. The authorities are speaking of a militant group consisting of some 15 to 20 people. The authorities say that 7 are at large still, but they say that that day X had not been specified.
Now, how serious is the threat of right-wing extremism in Germany in general and of groups like this?
In this particular case, what seems to be most concerning is that there seems to be a direct connection to the far-right AfD party. So one of the people arrested is said to be a local politician from the far-right AfD who's a member of the city council in the town of Grimma. And he's also the treasurer of the AfD youth organization Junge Alternative, Young Alternative in Saxony. And another man who was arrested is also involved in local politics for the AfD and represents that other guy at meetings of the Advisory Board for Culture, Youth and Sport of the City Council in Grimma, in that town. And there are also links to neo-Nazis in neighbouring Austria. That is something that our colleagues from the R&D network have found out, that 2 of the suspects are the sons of a well-known Austrian right-wing extremist who was the leader of a neo-Nazi comradeship in Austria in the 90s and a member of the paramilitary right-wing extremist group there. And they searched their houses also in Austria on people who were not suspects. But that just goes to show that we're now talking about people who have been elected into offices where they, of course, can wield different power than if they are outside of power structures.
DW's chief political correspondent, Nina Hase there. Thank you, Nina.